Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm the agent for Cumbria Woodlands. We're here to talk about the management of the grey squirrels and the promotion of red squirrels. Woodlands have owned this woodland for around 12 years. Historically, the local organisation that promotes red squirrels, they were working with the previous owner. So when the wood was sold and Woodlands took over, the local group approached us and asked us if we would continue that partnership.
Hello, my name's Paul. I'm a volunteer with Brampton and District Red Squirrel Group in Cumbria. I'm here to talk about grey squirrel control and specifically using live catch traps. It's important to control any species where there's no natural predator, and going back in time to the late 19th century and into the 20th century, red squirrels were actually controlled to some degree. So once we decide where to put the trap, and in this case looking up at what is a possible dray up in the nearby tree there, we have to consider what options we have, and the options are to put the trap on the ground or mount it on a tree. So having decided on where to put the trap, in this case it would be on this tree, I usually use hooks which you can screw into the tree. If there's a path nearby where people walk, the dogs for example, I wouldn't consider putting the traps on the ground because of the possible disturbance of the traps by the dogs, and also they would obviously upset dramatically anything which might be caught inside the trap. So we would put one screw hook in there and then the other one at the same level, so the trap should just sit on the tree. So this trap operates like this. It's quite complicated, this one. I've got a simpler one to show you as well, but this latches on the top like this. So the idea that the squirrel goes in here, goes to the back of the trap, and in doing so stands on the treadle plate, which is the plate that's stuck up there, and that activates the door connected by a bar to the treadle plate, and it becomes trapped. So you need the squirrel to go to the back of the trap, so you need to put bait at the back of the trap. The fact that there's maize on the floor, that will hopefully attract the squirrels to where you have the trap. I scatter a couple of handfuls of the maize around, so any grey squirrels in the area will find this, and they'll investigate further and find the maize on the tree where the trap is, and hopefully go into the trap. So having decided on a position to put the trap, you can cover these up with leaves to camouflage it. This trap is a little bit different, same principle with the treadle plate at the back, but in this case the bar which connects the treadle plates and supports the door is suspended from the ceiling of the trap by a hook. So basically you reach in and just pull the bar forward so it supports the door. So once the traps are in position, our policy is to check them twice a day. Legally you have to check them once a day, but for the welfare of any animal or creature that might be contained inside, we check them twice a day. So in the morning and then in the afternoon stroke evening, as close to darkness as possible, so that there's nothing trapped in the trap overnight. We sometimes put up feeders. When we decide to trap them, we would simply empty the food of any that remained and put a trap, ideally as close as we can, even on this tree. So other than cranial dispatch, once you've trapped a grey squirrel in a trap, the other method of dispatch is by shooting. So bear in mind the squirrel is running about in the trap. You would need a trapping comb or divider, which basically fits in between the mesh of the trap, and it restricts the movement of the squirrel in the trap. So you'd wait until it ran up this end, basically the squirrel, and then you would put the trapping comb or divider in to restrict its movement to between there and the door. And so there was no room for manoeuvre of the squirrel at all, and at that point you would shoot it in the back of the head with one shot. We have this feeder set up again to create a focal point for the grey squirrels to come. One of our volunteers would sit in a hide nearby and shoot the grey squirrels as they come to the feeder. Because they haven't been controlled, the numbers have increased so rapidly. In addition to this, they predate fledgling birds. So in woodland, you won't see as many birds if there are grey squirrels in numbers present in that woodland.